Hi guys, my name is Hisashi, and I'm Japan lead for dYdX Foundation. Thank you for coming today and listening to my presentation. So I guess I should start explaining about what dYdX Foundation is actually. dYdX Foundation, when you think about dYdX, you often hear two different organizations. One is dYdX Foundation, and the other one is dYdX Trading. And I'm from dYdX Foundation, and which is basically supporting the ecosystem development of dYdX DAO. dYdX Trading, on the other hand, is more like a developer company, and basically writing code. You can say dYdX Foundation is doing everything except for writing code. So that's sometimes people get confused, so I wanted to clarify that part. But both of the companies aim for the success of dYdX anyway, so that's, maybe in the end it may not matter much. So today I'm gonna share with you the recent development of dYdX ecosystem. And also, there's some interesting movement in the Japanese market that's very related to interoperability thesis. So I want to talk a bit more about that later. So this is just a disclaimer. What I'm going to be talking about today is just for informational purpose only, and not investment advice, basically. Let me talk to you about dYdX briefly. We are leading decentralized exchange for perpetual swap trading, and we adopt the order book style decentralized exchange. For that category, I think we are the biggest one. For now, but we haven't. We don't want to stop there, basically, and we want to overtake the centralized exchange part as well. So Antonio, the founder of dYdX Trading, often talks about overtaking Binance, for example, in 5 years and 10 years, and we are not really satisfied with being number one in DEX territory. We want to do more. Currently, we record around 10 billion trading volume on the daily basis, and that's that's current record, and that's about 1 to 2% of the overall perpetual trading volume in Ether and Bitcoin. So there's a lot more for the improvements there. And I think interesting part would be we only offer perpetual swap as a product at this moment. We don't really have option trading and spot trading yet. We wanted to start with perpetual trading because currently the crypto trading volume is really dominated by perpetual trading. 70%, 80% is all about perpetual trading, let's say. So if you want to become a number one crypto exchange, both in DEX and SEX, you have to win in this perpetual market. So that's why we kind of started from here. And afterwards, we are planning to add more services and products. dYdX started on Ethereum mainnet first, and then moved to layer 2 called Starkware. And now very excited to say that we are moving to Cosmos and planning to launch dYdX chain. Last year, we had about 33,000 active traders, 4,660 billion volume, and 173 million fees. Pretty much main traders are very professional traders and institutional traders currently. Not many mass retail traders are trading at dYdX yet because of the product that we are offering. So perpetual swap sounds really intense, and it's maybe a little bit too difficult for the mass retail users. But moving forward, we would like to increase the number of active traders even more, and together with institutional and professional traders we have currently, and want to basically expand a lot more. So why we are moving to Cosmos? Cosmos SDK offers full customizability, right? So that enables us to create sovereign blockchain, which we call dYdX chain. And that really essentially allows us to control every aspect of the stack and can only focus on the product, let's say. We can think only about how to create the best possible product because the chain is entirely dedicated to the dYdX product. Also, the Cosmos SDK offers scalability. In the current version, V3, around 1,000 orders placed and cancelled per second, which is not as performant as Binance and as a major centralized exchange. I think it's okay trading experience, but we want to be. We want to keep the same level of scalability, at least in the beginning of the version 4. So that's 1,000 orders placed and cancelled per second, right? And that is something Cosmos SDK makes possible. And lastly, and equally importantly, decentralization is a key. Currently, dYdX trading is essentially controlling the order book and matching engines. But in the Cosmos, it's going to be controlled by validators who exist basically all over the world. We are assuming around, I think, 100 to 150 validators in the beginning of V4. But they're going to be geographically distributed, right? So it's really a decentralized way of running order book and matching engines. Also, front ends and indexer are going to be open sourced, meaning not dYdX trading controlling front end and indexer, but third parties can use the open source code and come up with front end by themselves. And in the beginning of the V4, I think we're going to be having main indexers and front ends, but after that, it is possible to have regional specific front ends. So let's say there may be a Japanese version of dYdX front end, Korean version of dYdX front end as well. So I think that's really exciting. Just to quote Antonio Giuliano, the founder of dYdX, he thinks decentralization as follows. The decentralization of a system is equal to the decentralization of its least decentralized component. Now, dYdX is really committed to the product. So product, that's basically the only thing that you hear in a daily conversation. We may say that we are, in that sense, product maximalist. We are not really chain maximalist, we are product maximalist. And that, in my opinion, actually, stands out thanks to the application-specific blockchain thesis. So that's Antonio's tweet, and recently he remarked about Cosmos brand as well. But I think if, I guess in the end, users don't really care what chains in which change products are built on, basically. I think they're going to use dYdX just because dYdX is good, not because it's based on Ethereum or Cosmos or other chains, right? I guess that really is the key that he wants to, and dYdX wants to push forward as a message. Sometimes, we are moving from Ethereum to Cosmos, so sometimes people ask, how we can basically, transition Ethereum people to Cosmos people. That's important consideration, but I think that dYdX wants to push the message that it's dYdX. It's not like picking up community. So that's something we think, we talk about every day, and actually that's paradoxically, so we are not talking about blockchains, but paradoxically it's really good for that. If that state is successful, it's really good for Cosmos and interoperability thesis. So here's the life cycle of order. So let's say in V4 version 4, you can take a look at how trade order will be recorded on chain. So, as a user, you place an order, right, and on a decentralized front end or via API, and that order is going to be sent to a validator, who then shares the order with other validators and full nodes. And then the certain validator is going to be picked up as a proposer, and then that proposer is going to basically put the order in the block. And the proposed block goes through the consensus process, right? And if certain percentage of validator nodes said yes to the block, then the block is committed and they save to the on-chain database of all validators and full nodes. So they're going to have to update that with other existing order books. If the consensus says no, it's just going to get rejected. And after the block is committed, we have the updated on-chain data. And that's going to be utilized by indexers and sent it to the front end, and you can see that that's updated on the front end part. We are currently in the milestone 3, concluding private testnet, and hopefully by the end of this month, or maybe early next month, we're going to be starting public testnet, milestone 4, and hopefully by the end of September, or maybe early October, we're going to be launching mainnet and basically moving to Cosmos. Usually, I would like to talk a lot about dYdX DAO, because I do believe this is really exciting topic. So the dYdX basically believes in progressive decentralization. Meaning that that's a concept pushed forward by Andreessen Horowitz, and no, it's DAO, but you can't really achieve full decentralization on day one. You kind of have to gradually decentralize, things moving forward, and we kind of we are believing in that concept. So that's really hot topic, I mean, how you can achieve progressive decentralization is really a great question. No one has answer yet, I think. So we are moving, but we are also trying to figure out what that looks like, basically. Also, the interesting topic regarding DAO is how you can incentivize DAO participants. So, there are many DAO governance participants, right? They are active on communication. They are active on making proposal. They are active on research. But most of the time, they are not really getting compensated. So what are we going to do with that, right? It's not really sustainable that if those people don't get paid. So we also trying to find out a way to incentivize participants and DAO contributions. Those topics, I think, is something that it takes another presentation to fully discuss, but those are really interesting topics. But for now, I think for this slide, dYdX DAO has two sub-DAOs. So sub-DAOs basically expert group of within the DAO. So we have grants and operations sub-DAO for now. And other candidates are going to be risk analytics, R&D, growth, finance, and treasury management. But that's kind of up to the dYdX community. If they want to, create those sub-DAOs, they can. It's really up to them, and it also depends on the product market fit of the V4. Let's say before launch, it may take time for the V4 dYdX to be, to be really as performant as V3 or even more. So we may want to see the product market fit first, and then coming up with sub-DAO relevant to that, to promotion, for example. But it's really open question. Now, yes, that has been dYdX part, and for the last 2 or 3 slides that I have, I'd like to talk a bit about the recent Japanese development regarding stablecoins and cross-chain thesis. So I guess to give you a little bit of the context in the Japanese crypto market, we don't have stablecoins such as USDC and USDT listed on the Japanese exchanges for now. So if you are living in Japan, you kind of have to go to non-registered exchanges, send your Bitcoin to non-registered exchange and exchange that to stablecoin, and then send it to MetaMask or other private wallets. So that's been the situation. This is because we had this crypto law back in 2018, and they defined crypto asset in another way. So they didn't think about stablecoins coming in a few years. So they couldn't say that stablecoins are part of the crypto asset. So basically, they didn't know what to do with the stablecoins for a very long time. Since 2018, so it's going to be it's about like 5 years. Stablecoins, what to position it is something that we have been discussing, and it took a long time. But finally, we had new law, the Payment Services Act, also known as the stablecoin law, became effective on June 1st this year. So it was like last week, I think, or 2 weeks ago. A very recent development. So thanks to this new law, Japanese exchanges may be able to list stablecoins in Q2 next year. And several Japanese banks and startups are preparing to issue Japanese yen stablecoins such as Progmat and JPYC. And that's the development on the side of the stablecoins, but they are moving a bit further than that. So they are not just about stablecoin, but the Japanese megabank are actually talking about cross-chain. So I think that's really exciting to me, at least, because we have never seen this kind of development before. So, yeah, I mean, so Japanese megabank in this case is Mitsubishi UFJ Trust and Banking Corporation. Mitsubishi UFJ Bank is essentially the biggest bank in Japan. They are trying to issue Progma coin, and they want it to be cross-chain capable. And they are collaborating with Toki, which is IBC cross-chain solution. And no, they are very serious about not just issuing stable coins, and want to make it cross-chain. So that means technically, you can buy in Japan Japanese yen stable coins Progma, and then send it to the Cosmos ecosystem, and then eventually to DEXs and the dYdX chain. So that's it's just like that. This hasn't happened yet. It's still the conceptual thing still, but some glimmer of hope is here, and maybe good for Japanese stablecoin market, also for the Cosmos ecosystem, and for the interchain interoperability thesis in general. So that wraps up my presentation basically, and I put my not mine. I put dYdX Japanese community Twitter account here. Usually we tweet in Japanese, but we would like to reach out to more international audience moving forward. So try to give you the followers the Japanese development in English. Also, of course, about dYdX before movement. So feel free to follow, and if you have any questions, I check the DMs, every, I guess, 1 hour. So yes, please feel free to DM and ask any questions if you have. Thanks for listening.